Hello and welcome to this episode of Clearance Rack Superheroes. We're excited to talk to you today about the first 3 episodes of the Invincible series, an adult animation show on Amazon Prime. This week I am joined by Brandon. You may recognize his voice, not his face, from our podcast, Nerd of All Trades. He is Brandon the Historian. So here to bring all the historical facts about Invincible.
Ah, yes, lots of history there.
Quite a bit of lore, But yeah, so just to give you a little bit of background information on what Invincible is, if you're not familiar with it, like I didn't really know much about Invincible other than people telling me to read it, telling me how great it is. They say it's one of the best, comic books out there. And after watching the series, I could tell that yeah, it's really good. Um, so Invincible is written by Robert Kirkman, and you may know him from a little show called The Walking Dead. You're probably not familiar with it; it's not very popular, but it's out there. So he started this series in 2003, and it follows Mark Grayson, which is not at all like Dick Grayson, a teenager who is trying to figure out how to navigate high school, how to navigate having powers, as he finds out this world does have superpowers, and his dad just happens to be their version of Superman. So he's trying to figure out what it means to be human, what it means to be a Viltrumite, which is from the planet Viltrum, which is where his dad is from. Trying to figure out, what exactly is going on, meeting all these new people, all these new powers, trying to figure out, things like relationships, life, math class, the usual, high school stuff. While also, throwing garbage bags into the moon, or not into the moon, but into space.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty long running series. It went on for what was it till 2018. So even though it started in 2003, it's ended in 2018 with 144 issues. So I'm guessing there's probably like some gaps there or something. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah. So I know you'd watched, or not watched. You read some of the comic book before.
I think I read about up to volume 13. So, yeah, I'd read up to like volume 13. So I knew a bunch of things like on the Wikipedia page. I know if you were looking at it, I know who the kid is and everything.
Hmm.
Never got to see the blue suit though. I never got to that point.
This mysterious Robin looking guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently that's Invincible 52.
Hmm. Yeah, never saw the blue suit though. Always wondered why, because I always saw like the later issues he would have a blue suit, and then like the final issues he would have the yellow suit again. And I'm like, wonder what's going on there.
Back to basics.
Yeah,
Maybe it was his dark, his black suit's phase, but instead he went blue.
the blue suit phase.
Blue suit phase. He had to be different,
This
just
sounds so
barely
lame.
enough. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is a little bit edgier than the yellow, so I'll give him that one.
Yeah,
But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the first 3 episodes that dropped on Amazon on Friday. If you haven't checked it out yet, it is pretty much a merging of The Boys and the Harley Quinn TV show. So there's a lot going on in it. There's a lot of superhero violence. They don't shy away from the blood. There's a lot of humor, and it's quite the story. Even though we've only have seen 3 episodes, a lot has happened. So we're really excited to get into this with you.
yeah.
So just start off, Brandon. What do you think of it? The 3 episodes overall. And sorry, I know I said it before, or I wrote it before, but I just want you to know it says spoilers for the first 3 episodes. If you haven't seen them, go ahead and watch them and then come back to us.
Yeah, I thought the first 3 episodes were really good. I definitely feel like, as someone who read the comic originally, part of the comic caveat, I feel like it was a nice kind of evolution of the initial base that he had written in 2003. And honestly, like, I got surprised when I saw that the writer for the episodes was Robert Kirkman, because I was like, oh, I didn't realize he was writing the episodes. And I can see why he wanted to write them, because he added a lot more to that beginning part. Because it's really bland. The first three, I'm going to be honest, the first 13 issues or so of Invincible are pretty bland, in all honesty. And I really like what they did in the episodes, how they added this a lot more spice. Like, they developed a lot of the side characters a lot faster. They gave Mark a bit more development. They started the intrigue of the Omni Man a lot faster and everything. And I just think they made that initial probably like for a comic you can blow through it pretty fast. So like the first few issues being boring, you're just like, okay, I'll just keep reading. But like with an episode, like TV episode, especially one that was like what 45 minutes long each,
Mhm.
it's it would be so boring. Like Tyler, you just recently read the first few issues like a couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree that a panel by panel like from comic book to screen probably would have been pretty boring, just sitting there 45 minutes of it?
Yeah, it would have been very generic. I'll definitely give you that. I think he knew now that he had written a superhero comic book for 15 years, because I don't think Robert Kirkman had done that before.
Mm.
I think he knew what he really wanted to do with that series, if given the chance to write it again. And this is just kind of like his passion project of, I can take it to the next level.
Yeah, so I definitely think that I enjoyed those 3 episodes. I look forward to all the episodes, and I'd rate them personally about 9 out of 10s because I thought they were really good. I enjoyed watching them. I didn't even realize they were going to be 45 minutes each, and I blew through them. Like we blew through them, and I had a really good time. And honestly, like I would say that Robert Kirkman took his base and he just dialed it up. And I think that's the mark of a really good adaptation is you surpass the original like the original source material, and that's very rare. And I'm glad that they did. So I had a really good time watching them, and I'm looking forward to a lot more.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'm sure it was a weird experience. One of my favorite moments of watching it wasn't so much something that happened in the show. It was near the end of episode one. They do the title card, and then you see them cut to one of the members of the Guardians of the Globe, and he gets an alert to go to his base, and Brandon just says, "Oh, they're doing that already." He was like, "Oh, all right, this is about to happen."
Ooh, yeah, I was like, oh no, that's happening. Oh man, they're just putting the foot to the metal, aren't they?
It's just like danger, danger. That was actually a really fun moment. And hopefully, a lot of people who are familiar with the comic book kind of had that moment where they were like, "Oh my god, okay, well, this is happening. All right, guys, I wasn't emotionally prepared for this, but this is what's happening." Okay.
Oh, that just happened.
But yeah, no, I mean, for me, like Brandon said, I don't read the comic book until afterwards. I'm now probably, so there's 8 episodes. So these 3 episodes went through probably, I want to say like to like issue like maybe 8
Yeah, about
ish. Yeah, so it feels like the big stuff that's coming, that happened at the end of the first Ultimate Collection volume that Brandon has. I was reading. It seems like it's going to be coming in the next couple episodes. So I'm pretty much like caught up to where we'll be in like at the halfway point. So I'm not gonna say I'm too familiar with it, but it was it was a really good series. I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of humor, which I enjoyed. The characters were really fleshed out, which I didn't even realize how not fleshed out they were until I read the comic, and it was just like everything was different. Everything was at like a 6, and then in the series they dialed it up to a 10. They're like, okay, well, you know that Rexplode character, you know how he just kind of around, and he cheated on Adam Eve, like then that's his entire arc for at least what I had read. Yeah, well, now we're actually going to make him have like a big conflict with Mark, and it was going to be like this big thing, and he's going to actually be a character. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
okay. um, Things like Mark working with Omni Man and like learning his powers, like a lot of stuff that they really made sure they took advantage of how long the show was. And I think I really appreciate that. They didn't let any moment go to waste. They made sure that it was filled with any character moments that they felt they needed to add, any kind of action set pieces that they wanted to make. uh, they they were like, look, we got 8 episodes, we got to make this happen.
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. The animation's really good. uh the the violence and the gore lends itself really well. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Harley Quinn and the boys, this new subgenre of superhero that we're getting, where they're definitely not just the beacons of hope. They're people who they beat the shit out of other things, and they annihilate them and cause extinction sometimes. And yeah, so they're not what we're typically used to, which I love that subgenre. So I love to see it rising like that. I think it was really well done. uh, Mark as a character he's really good. You get to learn more about him. You see his struggles. He's he's very human, which I really appreciate. You don't really get to see that so much in the comic book that I saw because he's like, okay, cool, I have powers now, and but in this one, like he's not good at being a superhero, which was really cool because if you got powers and you went and did the stuff that he had to do, you're probably not going to be good at it.
I probably would have ended up in the stratosphere. Oh
What do I
man.
do? What do I do? No air, no air. uh, but yeah, I think it's a great show. I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. What it's got left in these next 5 episodes. I don't think it's going to disappoint. I think it's going to keep on going. It's going to be high octane, and it's going to just blaze through the story.
Yeah. Why did they release 3 episodes to start with?
Uh, that's a good question because episode 3 didn't really end on like a. It didn't really end on a note where it's like, oh my god, what was that cliffhanger? Because if you're going to do that, I would say
Episode 1.
yeah, episode 1 would have been the one that you would have wanted because then people are gonna be like keyed in. Because episode 3 when it ended, wasn't it just like Mahler escaping?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was just Mahler escaping. It wasn't anything like. I think Alan the alien was in that episode too, but
Yeah, I think he might have been heading back. But yeah, no, it didn't really. It was not something that was just like, oh man, because I mean the previous two was
yeah,
it was his dad killing the guardians of the globe and then him destroying that alien society.
yeah. So
So I don't know why they did 3.
yeah, it just seems weird, especially when there's 8 episodes. So like that's only 5 weeks. I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
I would have done 2.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would have done 2.
I think. Yeah, I get wanting to do more than one to make it special, but I think 3 might have been too much.
Yeah, and it's just like honestly, if it had been me, I would have just released the first episode or just released all 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they're just trying to find. I think Amazon's really trying to figure out what works for them because they did The Boys, whereas weekly for season 2,
Yeah.
and people weren't happy about that. So they're like, "Well, fine, we'll give you some of them. There, you happy?"
No, never.
And then, you got those people who are like, "Well, why not? Why isn't it all 8?" And it's like, "Oh my god, people, do you not know things called marketing strategies and working with the cultural zeitgeist? Like, do you think Game of Thrones would have been as popular if it'd been all coming out all at once?"
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's the problem with the binge model is you talk about it for maybe a week, and then maybe like 2 months later, when your friend who's slow is like, "Hey man, did you catch that?" And you're like, "Yeah, bro, I did when it came out." That's pretty much the extent of comments on stuff that you get all of it all at once.
Yeah. But binging's so nice because you get instant gratification.
It is, but I feel like I retain stuff better when I don't binge.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's easier for me to remember what's going on in The Boys season 2 than if you ask me what happened in The Witcher because I watched all The Witcher all at once.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like all of it all at once, and I didn't have time to digest process.
I still haven't watched The Witcher, and I think at this point it's gotten to the point where I'm like, eh. It's been too long. It's been too long. It's too late now. It's too late to join the Witcher journey.
I mean, season 2 is going to come out, and so you got to watch it before then.
I'll wait till it's like season 5 or something.
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
All right, yeah. So let's start getting into it a little bit more. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the voice cast for this project?
Spectacular. I enjoyed it so much. There were so many people. I was just like, oh my god, how did they get all these people? Obviously, the standout is always going to be J.K. Simmons because
J.K. Simmons.
yeah, because J.K. Simmons as Omni Man. Loved it. I thought it fit really well. I would never have imagined him as the voice, but it worked really well. He was definitely probably the best for me. Trying to think if there's anybody else who really like. Definitely, actually, whenever I read the comics, never thought of Alan the Alien sounding anything like Seth Rogen.
But now it makes so much sense, doesn't
eh.
it?
I would have casted someone different, but I think it works pretty well personally. I think it's good, but I wouldn't have casted it.
I mean, I just can't imagine a world where someone who isn't voiced by Seth Rogen, realizes that he had spent the past 15 years at the wrong or at the wrong place.
Look, man, Earth's got weird. Earth's weird. Okay, it's a weird planet. Okay,
This is
you
Urath,
guys.
right?
Also, in his defense, it's not like Omni Man ever like talked
I
to
mean,
him.
yeah, you're right. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's totally on him. I mean, it's better for him to have maybe asked and double checked before he the first time, but
I truly don't believe he. I don't believe even if he had asked, Omni Man would have talked to him.
it's true. But yeah, no, I mean those two ones are really good. Some other ones, Sandra Oh as Debbie, his
Yeah.
mom, Steve Yoon as Mark, Jillian Jacobs as Adam Eve, Jason Mantzoukas as Rexplode, uh, Mark Hamill as the Tailor, like
Oh yeah,
a super
just randomly
small.
there.
You gotta if you want to be like a legit voice acting experience, you gotta have Mark Hamill in some form,
He just shows up.
pretty much.
He's just there.
Zazie Beetz as Amber.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many different voices. It was kind of ridiculous. The pedigree of this cast.
Yeah, like I can't believe they got everyone.
I know. Yeah, the cast itself would sell you on this project, honestly. Like you said, J.K. Simmons is amazing as Omni Man. He does because with Omni Man you have to do that. He's the father, he's the Superman, but also like he's the bad guy. So you have to be able to balance those moments where he's giving the fatherly advice and those moments where he's saying like, "Hello, citizens, you are you are safe now," with the moment of Earth isn't yours to conquer.
Yeah, I got to get both spectrums of like good guy Superman and injustice Superman. Got to have both of them in there.
Superman after a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. One bad day.
Yeah, I mean, all of them like it's just all of them fit so well. It's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, Steve Yoon does a great job as Mark. He doesn't have as much to work with yet so far with Mark, so we haven't really gotten to see his range. But he's definitely been doing a good job, getting to kind of portray like that little. Even though he's like in his 30s,
Yeah.
at least by this point, since he was in The Walking Dead in 2009, so
God, it could be in his 40s.
he
I
might
don't, I
be.
don't even know.
uh, but yeah, so he's done a great job just kind of getting us into that world, being our eyes and our voice for this world and everything that's going on in it. Because as much as Mark knows about it, Mark doesn't really know anything about it. So kind of
Yeah.
just trying to figure that out. Um,
You think Robert Kirkman called Steve Yoon to get for the part since he was on The Walking Dead?
I mean, he probably was like, "Look, man, I'm really sorry, but we're gonna have to kill you in a really bad way, and as a consolation, you get one token that you can use for any future project." So
Say no more.
it's a get a roll free card. No, I mean he probably just really liked him because Lauren Cohen played War Woman and she was Maggie on The
Oh
Walking Dead.
yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely, and I mean, given their story, I can tell that those two characters really meant a lot to him. So I could see him having a really good relationship with those two.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But and that's in no means way of me saying that I think Steve Yoon didn't earn the job. He definitely is doing a great job. It's just always funny to notice those people that I work with, the same people again and again and again in that relationship.
Yeah,
The Johnny Depp Tim Burton of it all.
yeah, exactly. Like, he definitely earned the position, but he was probably, Robert Kirkman might have been like, I think you'd be good for this role. And he'd be like, okay, I'll try out for it.
Cool. I'm not doing anything. Great. Well, yeah. So yeah, amazing voice cast. Definitely a huge fan of it. What do you think of the animation of it?
I thought the animation was really good, but I don't think it's anything spectacular. If you get what I mean, like,
It's not unique.
yeah, it's not very unique. Like it's really good. I definitely would never say like it takes me out of it,
Mhm.
but I don't have. It doesn't leave me with any lasting impacts, if I'm being honest. But honestly, I think that might be more on the art style of the comic than the actual animation, because the art style of the comic was never exactly a whoa. It was more of this is good. It's good art that lets me enjoy the story, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to have like this masterclass in artwork. So yeah, I thought the animation was good.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the animation for the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good. It's clean. It doesn't it doesn't get all jumbled up and confuse your brain.
yeah,
But yeah, it's not something that it's not like Samurai Jack where you're just like, oh, look at that animation.
yeah, exactly. Like it's nothing that's gonna win like a award or anything. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, no, and I like that they make sure that as far as colors go, everything's very distinct. It's not it doesn't get lost behind the background
yeah,
or anything like that. Actually, something I did notice that was interesting was the background is like it's a different kind of animation than the characters. It's softer,
yeah.
so the characters actually stand out more.
Hmm.
Like there's not as many lines. It looks like.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was a really interesting effect because yeah, it was more like watercolory,
Okay.
and then the characters were actually they stood out. They were all drawn hard lines so that you could really tell which ones who they are.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly, to like make the characters be more prominent in a scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The animation was good. They definitely know how to show you the blood and the damage,
Ugh,
everything.
that was, that was
It
gross.
was gross. Yeah, it gets pretty intense sometimes. They definitely aren't. They definitely want to sell that this world has real life consequences, and they did.
Yeah, they really did.
So don't you forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what did you think about the teen team?
They're kind of like, like I like the characters like I like Adam Eve,
Mm,
and I like Mark, and I like Robot, but I really do not care about Rexplosion or Multicate whatsoever.
how dare you?
And honestly, like I think they're just, especially with how they don't even like last that long in the show. It's just kind of you know.
Yeah.
I was pretty on them because it's like I don't like Rexplosion. I didn't like him in the comic. I don't like him. I don't even like him with the character development. He's just, not only is he an asshole, I think his powers are kind of lame.
Yeah, they're all right. I mean, making anything explode.
Yeah, but he's so there's so much cooler ways you could do it. Do
He's
it.
got to work up to it. He's a teenager.
And he's already making grown up problems of being a dick. He can, focus his time on making something cool explode instead of like throwing little pebbles at people.
Look, man, sometimes you get tired of exploding baseballs, so you just decide to explode your relationships. It's fine.
But yeah, no, the team, it's just kind of eh. I don't really feel like it was. I guess it was nice for Mark to like learn more about the superhero world, but I don't really think it was necessary, if I'm being honest, as like to be in the plot.
I mean, I can't believe it's already over.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just like at that point you could have just had like them introduced, whenever they do, like you didn't even have to say it was a team. You could have just said it was a bunch of superheroes that came to the scene and you could have met them.
Yeah,
Like you didn't need a team, if I'm being honest. Like I don't really feel it. The only plot that it really added to was the Rexplosion cheating on Adam Eve. That's about it.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. You expect, yeah, okay, maybe I'll be with them for at least a season, and it's like episode 3. So we're disbanding this team because we're making a new team.
Yeah, it was just like, what was the point?
For drama, and I don't know, for Robot to be there to Robot.
Robot's cool. I like Robot.
Robot is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say that first of all, if Rexplode does expand his powers, he could definitely be one of the strongest superheroes.
Yeah.
Um, but the moment where he made fun of Monster Girl and, and she's beat the shit out of him,
Oh, that was just great.
that was awesome. And I mean, having Jason Mantzoukas voice him is perfection because he is perfect as that weird, like dirtbag guy
Yeah.
that's always got like a chip on his shoulder. That's just his entire personality and everything I've seen him in, except for maybe The Good Place.
Oh yeah, he was just weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Uh, That martini glass full of olives was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me uncomfortable, but it did.
Honestly, that's making you uncomfortable. How did you survive his character in the league?
Ah,
Ugh, he's creepy.
let's see. My nightmares. It's fine.
It's okay. He just shows up in all nightmares.
But yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, I honestly, you could have just had Adam and Eve be there, like just introduced, and they just know each other until the whole Guardians of the Globe thing happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, as long as Robot's there too. I like Robot.
Robot is pretty cool. Although I don't know that ending where it turned out that he might be sus.
Nah, Robot's Robot.
Robot's robot.
You don't understand because you're not a robot.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I think I know what he's doing because I think he's trying to create a conflict that's big enough that it's going to unite his team. But I don't know.
See, I have a feeling it has something to do with what's going on with the investigation of the globe.
Yeah,
I feel like he's using that as to smoke something out. Personally,
that's a good point.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's trying to smoke something out right now.
that could make sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just know his team is failing, so I was like, oh, he's probably just releasing these bad guys so that way they can go and defeat him and be like, we're the new Guardians of the Globes, bro. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm sure it'll all go well. I'm really worried about. Can we talk about? Are we concerned about Monster Girl and this whole Benjamin Button thing she's got going on?
And she's a side character. It'll never get resolved.
Are we? But I mean, are we not concerned? She's like 6 at this point. Is she just gonna bleep out of existence at some point during the series?
Maybe.
Yeah, is Robot gonna have to have like a just one of those things that straps to his chest so that way he can just take her into combat?
Maybe. Also, I think she's like 12 right now.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's definitely
Yeah, I
taller
guess
than
she
a
is, yeah.
6-year-old.
Yeah, you're right. The point is though is she's younger than she said, she's like 24,
Yeah,
but she looks 12.
I'm sure they'll find some cure or something, or they just won't mention it again because she's a side character.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I'm just concerned. It's like one day it's just so she's gone. Yep.
Yep, she just doesn't exist anymore.
We won't talk about what happened to Monster Girl.
Yeah.
Question: if you, as a teen, obviously you're not a teen anymore. As a teen, if you had gotten powers, would you have joined the teen team or would you have started your own team?
I wouldn't have joined the team. I wouldn't have started my own team. I probably would have done my own thing. The only reason why is I probably would have found Rexplode as an insufferable asshole. And I would not have wanted to dealt with that.
As soon as he just opens his mouth, you're just like, nope, I'm out.
Yep.
Nope.
No, I'm going to go do my own thing. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be part of the Junior Avengers.
Whoa. You can't say that's copyright.
Copyright strike. I don't care.
How dare you say something that is so close to the truth? Yeah, it's kind of interesting how like obviously these are so many of these characters are analogs for other characters.
Yeah.
Like Kirkman knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was on purpose.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He definitely this was a comic that was written by a fan of comics. For sure.
Yeah, sure, really appreciate it. Yeah. On a side note though, I need a Detective Darkblood Funko Pop stat.
He's just there.
I need my Etrigan. I need my Etrigan Hellboy, crossover guy now. Okay. Well, okay. Let's talk about the Guardians of the Globe. How do you feel about them before their untimely demise?
Again, they were they were all right. I mean, they were just kind of there. I don't understand why every Aquaman spoof has to be a fish.
It's the only other thing that makes sense.
I know, but it's like why can't they just be like a human?
Because it's outrageous.
I know, but like every time I see like a spoof of Aquaman, like in this and like the Venture Brothers, it's a fish. It's just a fish guy.
Fish guy.
Yeah, it's a fish guy who no one likes.
I don't know, man. I mean, what about if he was something different, like an octopus or something?
I'd be fine with that.
What if he was like an anglerfish?
That's creepy.
That'd probably be pretty traumatic.
Yeah, I don't want to see that, man. No one wants to see that. But yeah, the Guardians of the Globe are all right. I think they had cool designs, but they weren't really there long enough to have much of an impact. Besides, oh, they're dead, and they're like I don't really think they were meant to be anything more than plot devices. And oh, hey, there's the Justice League.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were all right.
Yeah, they were cool. Yeah, definitely pretty obvious analogs between them and the other characters. Except for Immortal. I'm not really sure what that one was supposed to be based off of.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure he's based off Vandal Savage
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he kind
I
of
guess,
looks like him
yeah,
too.
that's true. You're right. Yeah, that probably is in a world where Vandal Savage wasn't, a terrible person.
I know. I mean, do you blame him? He started out as a caveman.
I mean, I guess, but still, bad guy.
Look, man, you lived that long. You're gonna stay a good guy.
I
At what
mean,
point? At what point do you just go, eh?
I'm working on 26, or I'm 26 right now, and I don't know if I don't know, a couple more years I might be evil.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine centuries.
You're right. What are you talking about? History is so pure and clean, and nothing terrible has ever happened.
Yes, of course. Nothing. Nothing bad ever happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed the Guardians of the Globe. It was pretty upsetting that they were just gone. They're
Yeah.
just dead. Especially because it seemed like they had pretty vibrant lives that we didn't know about, that we
Yeah.
didn't get to see. Like the Red Rush trying to figure out how to have a relationship, even though for him everybody's going slow.
Yeah.
Although I didn't really like Red Rush.
I mean, yeah, he kind of sucked. I mean, to be honest, did you actually like any of the Guardians of the Globe? Like, feel anything for him?
War Woman seemed cool.
Yeah, she seemed cool, but was
I mean, no, we didn't get coffee and talk about our lives and like
exactly.
establish a relationship. We just
Just calling you out, Tyler. Right now, I'm calling you out.
I saw her save the president, and then she tried to give an app away for free, and she got blocked by a business.
Then she died.
Yep, pretty much.
Such is life.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. If you got powers as a teen, which Guardian of the Globe would you want to be a sidekick for? That'd be Aquarius.
No. None of them.
None of them.
None of them.
Would you hope there's another team that's gonna
I wouldn't want to
mentor
be a
you?
sidekick.
Brandon, I feel like you don't really understand how the progress of the superhero journey is.
You either start as a sidekick and get killed.
That's only if you're Batman sidekick.
I don't know, man. Sidekicks, they're usually the ones that die. Or you can just do it on your own,
Yeah, I think you're gonna be the one that turns evil.
And it's really possible.
It sounds like you're definitely one bad thing happening from just going full dark side.
One bad day.
Okay, well let's talk about Omni-Man.
Yeah.
So, since you knew going in what was going to happen, like how did the change to having it pretty much happen in episode 1 and you just see like more bits of it throughout the first 3 episodes? What was that like?
It was nice, like, because I enjoyed the fact that they realized that everyone probably either knew or had an idea of what Omni-Man was going. I don't think there were a lot of people that didn't have an inkling of what was going on. And if they did, they probably got spoiled and stuff. So I think what they did is instead of making it a mystery on or just come out of
Ooh.
nowhere, they were like, this is who Omni-Man really is. And then they added that sprinkling of all those like really ominous lines if you know what he's about. Cause like especially because like they still haven't shown it in the show, but like there's a bit more to him and about what he does. And his lines really show that. And it's really nice because I read the comics and I know exactly what's gonna happen. And I'm like, oh, that's foreshadowing. Oh, that's not good. I really enjoyed because if I remember correctly, they didn't show this in the comics what he did to that alien planet that he got teleported to. I don't think they showed him what he
No,
did. He just
yeah.
kind of came back, but they showed that he wiped out an entire planet and just showing what he's capable of. So I thought the show added a lot of depth to Omni Man and like added it and made it, I guess, made the mystery of Omni Man a lot more interesting compared to like what it was like in the storyline was like in the comics.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, I thought it was a bold decision to do something like that, and I think it was really smart because you know how people are when you come into the project and you're like, oh, I already know this. I've been reading this comic since it came out in 2003, and so nothing's gonna surprise me. And I feel like they really understood that that was gonna happen, and so they were like, we're gonna subvert expectations,
Mm.
and we're gonna do this thing that happens later on at the end of the first episode,
What?
but only you know. And I think it was bold because it hooks us, you know, the new people, because we're just like, oh, holy shit, this guy has went whole Homelander already, and just obliterated the Guardians of the Globe. And you know, there were some moments of like there were tense moments throughout the episode too, just kind of like saying maybe there's more going on with Omni Man, and that's kind of what happened in the comic book. Which, you know, not to knock what they did in the comic book either, because that was still a great reveal. It was still very intense, and you know, you really felt like you're like, holy shit, like this guy is the Superman of their world, and he just it turned out that he was just grooming them to to be taken over.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think it was really cool, and is adding a really interesting layer because now, you know, we have we have Detective Darkblood, who is trying to figure out who killed the Guardians of the Globe, as we all know who killed the Guardians of the Globe, and we're just like, if he finds out, this isn't going to be good for him. You know, his days may be numbered if he's not careful.
Yeah.
Um, so, and then just everybody else just you know, getting closer and closer to the truth. I'm not sure if they're going to do it the same exact way that they did in the comic book. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I'm anticipating that reveal to be pretty soon. I don't think it'll be at the pace that we're going. It's not going to be at the end of episode 8.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be next episode.
Yeah, I definitely think that's possible. So I mean, I think it was really cool. I think it takes Omni Man, and it makes him different than what we know as, like, you know, Injustice Superman or as Homelander. You know, all those other ones where you're just like, oh yeah, they're evil and they're doing evil things. With Omni Man, you're just like, okay, no one knows that he's doing these evil things. Like, we know, we've come to expect this from this other guy. Even, you know, that's why the boys are in place, so that way they know that they need to take down Homelander. But in this world, no one knows shit, and so it definitely adds like a layer of tense moments, which they are just doing a great job of just continuing to build Omni Man for that inevitable reveal to Mark, where he's like, "Hey, bro, by the way, you're dad bad, and you either join me or you're against me. And if you don't join me, I will murder you."
Hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's probably one of the best moments. I think those moments that he's doing something that's out of character is probably some of the best that's in the show.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about what was your favorite moment from the first 3 episodes or moments.
I liked watching him wipe out the alien planet. That was
Right?
pretty cool.
That was my favorite too.
Yeah.
I mean, which I don't know if that doesn't sound good, but
I mean, I actually thought that was probably one of the few moments where the animation was like really, really good, and it just showed what Omni Man really was capable of, and like pretty much his true nature, and that's why it was probably my favorite part of the first 3 episodes.
yeah, no, I definitely think so. Like I said, that line where he comes in and he says, "Earth isn't yours to conquer," was chilling.
Yeah.
it was it was intense. Especially because Brandon had told me that he was like he'd come back and he had said he had just been like a war slave
Yeah.
for the alien machine, and then just to see him be like, just, oh yeah, I just spent a few months of their time wiping them out of existence. Also, can we talk about that one alien that just kept showing up and he's like, fuck you, Mark?
Yeah, I know his rival. He just kept coming back, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you this time. I got a mech now.
He was like, I literally took over the civilization to come back and get your ass.
I'm gonna kill you."
It was awesome. Yeah, if you that alien that he just like messes up, just cuts his eye off, and then he as he retreats, he just comes back with more and more lesions. I was just like, this is like the ultimate petty, and I respect that.
Could you please just stop?
I'll stop when you're dead.
I honestly laugh. I know it doesn't happen in the comics, but I big laugh they had like a little Easter egg of him coming back like fully put together as a cyborg after what happened to him.
You just see like after Omni-Man destroys his civilization, he crawls towards like this suit of armor or something.
He's just like, I'm coming back. You can't kill me that easily.
I'm gonna get you, Invincible. Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably a highlight moment. Him killing the Guardians of the Globe
Yeah.
was a highlight moment. All those moments with Steve at the beginning of the episodes. That poor guy who's just trying to connect with his stepson and keep his stepson on the good path.
I hope they keep doing that.
I know.
It's so funny.
It was so heartbreaking though. Like he's like, yeah, I'm taking him on a trip to England because he's doing well in school. You know, he's getting off the bad path. We're really starting to connect. And you're just like, oh no.
This guy's
Oh
gonna die.
no. And then the Mauler shows up and you're like, oh God, run away, dude. Get out of there. I literally don't care about anybody else. You cannot die.
And just shoots the guy. It's just like, what do you think the pistols are gonna do?
And you're like, no, don't be a hero. And then the second episode, I thought that was really awesome how they brought in when Mark throws the bag of trash. It
Yeah.
lands on Steve and his stepson are in England on their trip, and the trash lands. I thought that was a really good way to tie that part in.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Although I was also terrified. I was like, why are they showing me this guy again? Is he about to get attacked again? I was like, what's about to happen? Buckingham Palace just goes like I was just like, no. I became more emotionally invested in his story than in any other story in the episodes.
Foolish of you, Tyler, to get emotionally invested in a man named Steve.
I was just like, no. I was like, don't do this. I was like, he's doing better. Like he's connecting. Also, he's like voiced by John Hamm, and you're just like, no,
don't do it.
I was like, he's a big enough player that he could stick around, but he's also not big enough where I could think it could be a one-off. Just lots of emotions in that moment. Yeah. All right, let's see. So tell me what's your favorite character so far?
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man?
I like
I feel like you
Omni-Man.
say Omni-Man.
Yeah. Well, I think he's like just the best written character, you know?
It's true.
He definitely gets that good mix of like he's the upstanding hero, but he always, even when he's being the upstanding hero, he's got that dark edge to him that you always see. So
Yeah.
I always enjoy it. He's just fun. Plus, J.K. Simmons.
You're right. No, you're right. Omni-Man is definitely probably the best character right now. Another one I have to say is Alan the Alien.
Yeah, he was cool.
I really enjoyed that small part. Like I hope Alan the Alien shows up more. I know at the end of the book that I read, he does show up again to give useless information, which is always good.
Yeah,
which is very on brand. But I loved his interaction with Mark, and he's just like, "Hey," he's like, "You cut your hair." He's like, "You got rid of the mustache." He's like, "Huh, you're not as strong." And I loved how he's just like he finally he's also giving tips to Mark. He's like, so the only thing you can punch me towards right now is the moon, and it's that way, and you just hit me that way.
Come on, rookie.
He's like, you're better than this. And just like their whole conversation, him just saying, I come here every 3 years to test your defenses because you requested it from the office. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, you're Urath, right? He's just like, no, this is Earth, bro.
What are you doing, bro?
I loved it. And I mean, Seth Rogen just played it really well. One thing I kind of wish that they had introduced in which I guess they could do that later when we really get to know the truth about Viltrum.
Mm-hmm.
But finding out that Alan the Alien's family and like his planet was one of the ones that was conquered by Viltrum, I think that'd be a really important way for them to be able to cast another side to his character.
Yeah.
Beyond just being this alien that's a goofball.
Named Alan.
Yeah. And he's an alien. As original as his predecessor, Marvin the Martian. But yeah, no, I mean there's a lot of really good actors and just performances in this show. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do you think of Amber?
She's cool.
It's cool.
I mean,
how long do we think this is gonna last?
I mean, I know how long it's gonna last.
Okay,
but
okay.
I honestly I like her. Like, I enjoyed the changes they made to her character. They definitely made her a lot more interesting in the show. She was just kind of there in the comic. But like, as much as interesting as they made her in the show, I don't see the point of her character
Yeah,
because he ends up getting with Adam Eve. Like you know that's what's gonna happen. So it's just like,
just for drama.
yeah, and it's just she's such a cool character, and it just feels like it's wasted. You know?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's not going to last very long, especially with the way that the lifespan is of these things on this show.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, no, I think that they probably could have. Like, I do like Amber's character. I think she's really cool. I do appreciate that she's like trying to like learn comics to understand how Mark is. Also, can we talk about how awesome it is that Mark loves comic books?
Yeah.
It's like your dad's a real life comic book hero, and you still read these comic books about like Seance Dog and stuff.
Yeah, man.
That's we always got to appreciate the fanboy love.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it's just like it's just realistic fiction at that point.
Sure, yeah. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't how that went.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad was telling the story differently.
It's like in the boys, like they have movies about these heroes, even though it's like a real life thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's not really escapism anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah,
More of a documentary half the time, really, or a propaganda film, to be honest.
release the Dawn of the Dawn of the Seven movie.
But yeah, like it's not escapism; it's just real life.
That's a good point. Kind of more in line with like the detective stories that they used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a different kind of genre.
Mm.
Also, how cool of a name is Seance Dog?
Eh,
What?
it's
How
all
could you
right.
not? How can you not put respect on the name of Seance Dog?
It just sounds like a pulp comic book that sounds entertaining. You know, doesn't sound like anything revolutionary or you know amazing.
He told me that he communed with your ancestors, and I said you're an asshole.
Nah, I'm fine with that. You know why? 'Cause they ain't real, Tyler.
That's what you think.
That's
You
what
think
I
that
know.
Ouija board I have is for fun?
I know for a fact your dog ain't doing anything with it. Your dog can barely walk upstairs.
So he wants you to think.
No,
He's
no.
adept at the mystic arts.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Great. Well, so we can wrap it up here pretty quickly. What do you want to see in in the next few episodes? I mean, I know for you, you already kind of know what's going on, so you may not want to go too much into details. But like, just what do you hope to see in the next five?
I just want to see Mark become basically confident in being a hero. Not like, for he's like an expert at it,
Mm,
but I want to see him, obviously deal with the Omni Man stuff and become his own hero because it definitely feels like he's, for lack of a better term, Omni Man Junior right now. He's really in his dad's shadow.
yeah,
And I like to see him just take steps out of that shadow. That's the main thing, because other than that, I don't, I'm just ready to see what the show puts out.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I want to see him really step up, which I think is what we're starting to see. And him having to deal with that betrayal and whatever comes out of it uh, is going to be really interesting. Honestly, if I didn't think that if I didn't realize that this had been around for 15 years and there hadn't been a main character change, I would just assume that Omni Man killed him.
It's fair.
Like, I mean, he just seems like I mean, I don't think he could take Omni Man right now.
Mhm.
So it doesn't. I hope that we get to see him get to that level. So I definitely agree. I think I'm most looking forward to Mark's growth.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
definitely the thing I look forward to the most, and probably the entire heartbeat of the show. So hopefully we'll see it.
Do you think he will join the Guardians of the Globe this season?
No,
No.
I don't think he will.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that he's doing like this like outsider thing, like he doesn't want to be a part of it.
Well, he's his dad.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like his role model is literally
I
the
guess
same
that's
thing.
true. It's kind of like Batman Beyond, Batman Beyond, he really didn't want to join the Justice League of that time
Yeah,
because Bruce didn't until he ended up leading it.
yeah. How it goes.
Yeah. So, do you think he'll form his own team, or do you think he'll just be independent the entire time, or will he just work with Adam Eve?
I think he'll be mostly independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that probably makes most sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see more of that. I want to see his journey. I want to see more Alan the Alien, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, I don't really want to see a lot of drama.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's
yeah.
got to be
It's gonna be there.
it's got to be coming, especially with Amber because of his whole dual life thing.
Mhm.
It just feels played out.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's read the comic, it's not. It's in the beginning, but it kind of gets past that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, if it's just for a little bit, I'll be fine. I guess it's just been I'm just seeing a lot of series like that, so it makes it,
You
and it's
mean
it's so obviously teed up to be like that.
you mean literally every CW superhero show?
Yes,
Yeah,
which I still love them, but yeah,
I'll take pot
there's
shots
there's
at
a
him.
lot of drama. Uh, so hopefully we'll get to see. Maybe it's not. I mean, Amber seems cool, so I'm anticipating it not being just like a, oh, like I can't believe that you missed our date and I'm leaving you and stuff. Like I imagine there's going to be a little bit more layers than that. So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, I do assume he's probably going to end up with Adam Eve because everybody already assumes that they are, which is really weird and not great. And also, it just seems like it's a thing that's going to happen,
Yeah.
especially with the Rexplode thing ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, yeah. Oh, I meant to mention this earlier. What do you think of the name Invincible?
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Uh, I love that when he tells people that, it's kind of like when uh, Peter Quill tells people his name is Star
Yeah,
Lord.
and they just look at him weird.
They're just like, really? I love that. I think it's a really really nice change. Just kind of seeing, because yeah, it's a strange name to choose starting out.
Just he's optimistic, you
I
know.
I guess so. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I like the name. What do you think about the costume though? What do you think about the costumes for all of them? Yeah,
I'm not really a big fan of Invincible's costumes, like in general.
I like the goggles.
Yeah, I think they're more. I don't know. I guess I'm not a real big fan, and I think they're more Silver Age inspired, and I'm not a
Mm,
real big fan of Silver Age stuff. Either Silver or Golden Age. I can't. It's one of those two.
mm, I see what you mean. Yeah. I would almost say golden age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I don't like the older styles of superheroes. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest, like
Like,
I respect the like novelty of them, and like if a story's based on Golden Age stuff, superheroes, that's fine.
mhm.
But like this is a more modern superhero tale, but they're still kind of like look like lame tights
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
It's kind of weird that Rexplode has almost kind of like a steampunky vibe.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh, I
Hmm.
just remembered I just remembered my second favorite moment.
What?
Doc Seismic.
Oh yeah, he was funny.
Doc Seismic and his wokeness. I like how he's like coming at Adam Eve and he's like, "Do you not see what they're putting you in?" And she's like, "I wore this." They're just like, "Thought you were a doctor in seismology," and he's like, I got my bachelor's in sociology and women's studies with a minor in African dance."
Dr. Seismic be woke.
It's just like, oh man, he's do we fight him? Is he? I'm unsure where I am on this issue now. Yeah, no, that was just another. I just had to mention that. But yeah, no, I agree. And now I'm curious why because now I'm thinking why didn't the Guardians of the Globe have those costumes,
Hmm.
and then the next gen have like modern costumes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I so my mind can't help but draw parallels between Mark Grayson and Dick Grayson.
Hmm.
And I even noticed that when in Invincible, Mark Grayson's his outfit was very similar to what Nightwing has in Young Justice
Yeah.
with the bodysuit, um, but without the pads. And it just I feel like doing like the padding and stuff would have been really beneficial, like making it like have layers and everything. I think is that more like what's in line when you were looking for, or
I
what you
get.
were saying?
I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just like I just don't like the costume designs personally. That's the main thing.
Okay,
It's nothing like where I'm like, this is the reason. I just don't
I get you.
like. Yeah.
Not enough for girls.
Not enough what?
Fur girls.
For a girl. Yeah, I get not sleek enough.
Not sleek enough.
Not sleek and modern enough.
too much too much All Might from the Silver Age.
Yeah,
Not enough All
exactly.
Might from now.
Exactly.
Well, awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks for being on here to talk about Invincible.
no problem. It was a good time.
Yeah, excited to watch the next episodes.
Hmm.
Probably start bringing those up. Probably next week we're gonna start changing this a little bit, just because there's now I'm finally getting kind of caught up. So next week we'll be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, probably the first 3 episodes, and then I'll probably mention what's going on in Invincible, so that way we can just kind of keep going. We'll keep moving along with it. So hope you're excited for that. I hope you've been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. Hope you've been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's been a blast so far. We're definitely gonna be talking about the first 3 episodes, so come prepared. Especially there's only 6 episodes. We're already almost halfway through, so you got to make sure that you're on top of this.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm your host Tyler Birch. Brandon,
I'm out.
and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, go out, have fun, read some comics, watch the movies, have a good time.